Hey there everybody, Eric from OUTER LIMITLESS here today at the Helikon Tex booth. Now I'm here with Carlos from Daily Carry Solutions. We are going to take a look at the Helikon Tex products, but more specifically, we're going to meet with David Canterbury, a formal ambassador for the brand.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of boxes.
Hey there everybody, I'm here with David Canterbury at the Helikon Tex booth, here to talk about the ambassador program. So something that's come out of really 2019 into 2020. You are an ambassador now for Helikon Tex.
Yeah, for their bushcraft line. Yeah.
Excellent. So the bushcraft line, talk about some of the gear and the things that you've been wearing and what it's meant for you and your ability to really do your work out in the bush.
Well, you know, I think that Helikon is known for their tactical gear, and that stuff has to be tough. You know, you're from the backpacks to the pouches to the clothing, all that stuff has to withstand the rigors of urban environments. So if you can take that kind of toughness in a clothing and equipment brand, and you can bring that into the woods, and you can create clothing that looks more woodsy, you know, like this Pilgrim shirt that looks more of a flannel type shirt, and you can make ripstop pants that are in solid colors and things like that, and you can take those things along with backpacks that are made from 350, 500 denier materials that aren't going to tear up, and put them into configurations that are good for bushcraft, then you got a win-win.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've seen in their different lineups is they take some of the best features of each one of the lineups and then they integrate them into all the other lineups. Like for example, I bet you if you look inside here, it's all ventilated.
Yep.
Oh, it's not. See, that's one thing I would have done. Okay, so they got it on the underside. Now what about these chest pockets? Are there vents in here? No. So see, that's one of the things that I greatly like about like my jackets and my fleeces is the fact that when you unzip all these, not only are they pockets, but they're ventilated.
Right,
so
fleeces like that, correct.
My recommendation for this is you already got the flannel on the outside layer, make that a nice zip that you can open up, and then you get that same mesh so that when you need it to breathe, the thing will open right up. And that's one of the things that I've greatly enjoyed about the Helikon products. They've actually thought about ventilation and temperature management. So where you're active in the bush and you're scrambling around and you're using, you know, calories and energy to actually dispel some of that heat and regulate your temperature is critical.
Yeah, and most of the stuff has ventilation obviously all over it. So I think that this is more of a three-season type shirt.
Yep.
Right, where it's not a summer shirt where you're going to need a ton of ventilation, just enough to where you can open things up if you need to.
Yep.
And I think that's the purpose behind this. The one thing that I find that I'm not real fond of when you get a shirt that's too ventilated is that stuff ends up sticking to your skin on the inside. And I don't like that very well.
Yep.
But there's compromise with all of that, I agree with you.
Yeah, pros and cons on everything. Now, I noticed too, they do like the cuffs. You have the, you know, the cinch adjustable cuffs. I've greatly enjoyed that about their products.
Yeah, that's a lot better than having mess with buttons for sure. I agree.
Now,
and I like the overlapping buttons as well.
Oh, that's
field jacket type buttons.
Ah,
that overlap.
That's cool.
And they're really heavy duty buttons. I mean, you can see that's not coming off of there.
Nice. Now you did a little video presentation with them. They sort of covered you as a brand ambassador.
Right.
Each one of the ambassadors get a feature little video with Helikon. Talk about just the process and what it was like to go through that with them.
You know, those guys, they're really professional guys, and you know, when they push that whole road to perfection, strive for perfection, they're like that every day. You know, so those guys. So we shot things multiple times to get exactly what we wanted, exactly what they liked, exactly what I liked. But it was a very natural feel to it. I mean, this is not one of those things where they were like, let's find the nearest woods by Walmart and go shoot some video. I mean, we drove miles and miles out into the Sierra Nevadas
to find that tree,
to find that spot.
To that one tree that was the tree,
like
right?
Mountain lion signs and bear signs all over the trees.
Yeah.
So these guys are serious about the outdoor experience and keeping it real. Nice. It's not, let's just go over here and shoot this. We're going to drive miles and miles out into the middle of nowhere and just hope we don't break down. And this is where we're going to shoot this stuff. And spend the night out there and you know, have some really good food around the fire and drink a little booze and have a good time. And then get serious the next day.
Get that experience together while you're out and using the gear, but also getting that outdoor experience, which is great. And you know, for me, I'm a little less of the bushcrafty type. I mean, I do some, but I'm more the hiking, camping, and backpacker. So a lot of the gear giving you the flex and the ability for the materials to pull, you'll see on the underside of his shirt. It's stretchy material. I mean, that is critical to the proper movement and your ability to really do what you need to without the clothing tugging, and even, you know, certain things by stretching them the wrong way, you can get failures. So their choice of materials and stitching and the quality and the comfort and the ability to perform, that's what I'm saying about Helikon Tex. To me, at this point, they are a performance piece of gear.
I agree. At a price that's not, you wouldn't
unbelievably,
think,
I mean,
it's a good value for the
I agree
for the product.
completely. Great
I think
value.
that's a really important thing in this day and age.
Yeah.
You know, when you've got so many designer fabrics out there, so many performance companies out there that are making gear, and they know you're going to pay for it. You know, Helikon's going to give you performance at a good price, and I think that's important. One of the things people ask me a lot is, you know, you could be an ambassador for a lot of companies, so how do you choose the companies that you want to represent? And one of the things that I'm really big on, obviously I want quality, I want good guarantees, I want functional product, but the thing to me that's more important than any of that is the interaction with the family or the company that owns that product. Because if it's a family-based company, if they treat their employees like family, you know, a good example of that is Moore-Knieve, where you got 4 generations of people working in the same factory. An example of Helikon, the father and the son own the company, and myself, my brother, and my father own our company, Self-Reliance Outfitters. So those type of connections where you're connecting with the people who own the company and become part of a family are just as, if not more important to me than the companies that I represent.
So apart from their apparel, do you use any of their packs?
I do. I use their Summit pack quite often. Which
I love
you'd
the
be
Summit
fond of,
pack.
I'm
Your
sure.
guys got it on right now. That pack is
I use that
great.
pack almost every day in an OD green.
Yeah,
Of course, I didn't bring it to the show because it's not that type of pack. But for outdoor use, it's perfect.
It is perfect. It's a great size. I love the lightweight Cordura fabric. It's comfortable. It's got a little stretch to it.
I love it.
I think to me that is like my go-to 40-liter pack. I love that pack.
That's the way I am too. I use that pack almost every day.
Nice.
And then I also use like the Foxtrot belt rig and things like that, the butt pack stuff, for like a scouting situation. But I think for an all-around backpacking, camping, bushcrafting backpack, it's hard to beat that Summit. I agree with you.
Nice, man. Well, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hey, David Canterbury, brand ambassador for Helikon Tex. We've talked in the past. We're talking now. I appreciate it very much, man. Always great to catch up with you and hear your angle on these things. So,
No worries. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Have a good day. Enjoy the show.
All right, man.